Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. So in today's video I'm gonna be going over what we know so far about DOOMFIST, as there's been some more news recently that's not necessarily linked to DOOMFIST but could very well be. Either way, there's a fair bit of speculation rolling around right now on Reddit, on YouTube and so on. So I wanted to make this video to try and summarize all the facts and try and separate facts from rumors so you can form your own opinion about what you think about all of this. And also I want to refer back to some things in the past and debunk some things that were relevant in the past but just aren't really relevant right now. But without further ado, let's get right into it. I want to keep this video very compact and get straight to the point essentially. So let's start off with what's new and what has actually happened more recently. So to begin with, one, there was a fairly confusing post on r/Overwatch that said that the playlists for the official Overwatch YouTube channels had been updated, suggesting that there was a hero video, an event video and a map video, all in different playlists that were just hidden. This is most likely false, as what has probably happened here is that the Orisa stuff was uploaded, the event videos for Uprising was uploaded, and then put into playlist the day after, making it look like the playlist edit happened the day after, which would maybe suggest that there was a hidden video in there. However, that's not quite how YouTube works, as if you update the playlist and put a private video in there, you can actually see that there is a private video in the playlist, making this whole post completely irrelevant. It unfortunately made it to the r/Overwatch front page very briefly as well, but I just wanted to clear that up to make sure that there was no confusion around the playlist updates. This video is here to clear up information and misinformation around DOOMFIST and essentially just debunk a lot of stuff and show that there is very little that we actually know. Jeff Kaplan has gone out and said stuff like that they have big plans for DOOMFIST, but other than that there is very little information. I'll get to that later in the video as to what we actually know and also what other leaks have been debunked or basically shouldn't be taken too seriously, but I do hope that you understand that that is the main message of this video. Alright, so let's move on from that. Anyway, moving on from this, I want to start with the Orisa leak on 4chan that happened a while back. It was very early this year actually, and it ended up getting some things right, which is the interesting part here. Now, what it ended up getting right are things about Orisa, basically her sort of abilities and concept and the fact that she was an anchor tank and indeed a quadruped-like mech. Now, this is interesting because this person in particular did gain some credibility when Orisa was released and they did get basically everything right here. But there is also one thing in here that doesn't quite make sense that I'd like to highlight before we move on, and that is the Mei short that is talked about. So a Mei animated short would make sense from a backstory perspective. Right now we have a fair bit of information about Mei, but we don't have an animated short and we don't have a comic, so Blizzard wanting to expand that backstory further would make a lot of sense. However, what does not make sense at all is a Mei animated short in connection with a DOOMFIST release. I highly doubt that Blizzard would release DOOMFIST on Overwatch's birthday like a lot of people have speculated around and then also release a Mei animated short. That seems extremely unlikely to me. They are two completely separate stories that don't really have anything to do with each other other than being in the same universe and with the same sort of connection between people, I guess. But yeah, that's the one thing I wanted to highlight here. Now, moving on, we have a secondary leak, and this was also about 2 months ago, towards the end of March actually, so this definitely is no news and no information that we've recently received makes this post any more legitimate either. People were speculating about a hero being released on Overwatch's birthday all the way back since around the Sombra release, so this doesn't really give this post any sort of support at all actually. This leak has no evidence to back itself up, and I'm not gonna look at this and tell you guys that this might be real, because honestly there is no way to tell at all. It just happens to be posted in the same corner of the internet as the previous leak. Moving on from that though, I want to kind of try and wrap this video up, but with some more official information, I guess you could say. Basically everything that Terry Crews and Jeff Kaplan have said so far that people thought were hints at DOOMFIST have also been debunked in one way or another. We've covered this in previous videos actually, but this essentially means that all we are left with is the little info that we got about DOOMFIST around the time of the Orisa launch. He is the villain of Numbani, and just like back at the launch of Orisa, he is still at large after smashing up the Numbani airport. This was actually tweeted yesterday by @PlayOverwatch, and it's interesting to see them acknowledge the DOOMFIST questions and discussion, even if this really doesn't give us much, because Blizzard don't tend to get involved in community discussion like this. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. I would like your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Do you think we'll get an anniversary event? Is DOOMFIST coming soon? Let me know in the comments below, and do feel free to like this video if you thought that it was informative and enjoyable. Do subscribe for more Overwatch content as well. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you then.